Welcome to Not a Roofers podcast, where we discuss roofing
without all the jargon. I'm Brianna.
And I'm Charity.
And this is today's episode. Hello and welcome back to another episode of Not a Roofers podcast. Today we are going to discuss HVAC. And it's actually a little interesting because HVAC doesn't have a definition. Yes, but in my I give you a definition, blah blah blah. It doesn't have one. So I'm actually gonna let Charity go on with what the quote unquote definition of HVAC is.
It stands for heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. HVAC refers to the different systems used for moving air between indoor and outdoor areas, along with heating and cooling both residential and commercial buildings.
Okay, so why are we talking about HVAC? Because
we're
talking about this system that isn't really related in...
It is not. It's except like touch pointing. This one is more directly related to roofing because a lot of HVAC systems on commercial buildings are put on the roof. And so although roofing companies do not fix the HVAC systems, the AC unit specifically causes a lot of condensation. And what happens is it leaks in between the flashing and the roof membrane, and it starts to cause leaks.
Well, and beyond that, I have found other things that HVAC systems in total, whether it be the heating or air conditioning or ventilation, does cause on the roof.
So although we don't fix the HVAC system, we do fix the leaks associated with them.
And this is actually really fun to talk about because we did talk about curbs not too long ago. And just as like a FYI, curbs are needed in order to put rooftop HVAC systems onto a roofing system. So now you can see how that all correlates with what we've been talking about. But as a side note, HVAC systems, there are two different options. There's just HVAC systems that are on the ground or other locations, and then there are rooftop HVAC systems, and those are the ones we're talking about. They can be considered RTUs or rooftop units, and they are located on a roof. Very important. So with having it on a roof, there are more problems than just air conditioning, like Charity was talking about. There are a lot of things that come with having HVAC systems on top of a roof. And one of the big ones is that with having it on top of the roof, you have to understand that HVAC systems need to be maintained once a year. And with that, you're going to end up having a professional because you do not service HVAC systems yourself. This is not a DIY HVAC system maintenance thing. You need to have a professional come out and look at your HVAC system. And usually that professional is only a professional in HVACs. They're not a professional when it comes to roofing. And so it is very likely that when you have someone come service it and it's on the roof, that they can cause damage unknowingly because they just don't understand what they're doing with the HVAC system, or they don't know what they're doing with the roofing system around the HVAC system. So what are some other problems that come about with it being on the roof, Judy?
Well, excessive weight is an issue. When you put a large HVAC system on the roof and it is too heavy for the roof to hold, it can penetrate the membrane. And this would not be a case if it's a new build and they're they know what HVAC system's going up there so they can plan accordingly when building. No, this is if you have replaced your HVAC system and don't buy the same size or upgrade to something bigger, and it's too heavy for the place that originally was there.
Mm-hmm. And with it being heavy, HVAC systems are known if improperly installed, to create low spots on a roof. And we've talked about ponding in previous episodes. That was, oh, I don't even know when, a while ago. And ponding is where you'll get ultimately a pond formation on your roof because of low spots, and HVACs can cause those low spots that will then cause ponding, which will then cause leaks. So when that happens, you have to call a roofing professional to take care of it.
And then, like I said earlier, condensation is created from HVAC systems.
Yeah, which cause leaks. And
Yeah.
there's then also the normal things that'll happen with an HVAC system. We talked about how a curb will be needed to put the HVAC system on the roof. Well, we talked about what problems occur with curbs. You know, there's flashing that needs to go around it, and there's,
Or they just cut a big hole in the roof
oh,
and now you have
yeah.
empty space that you have to fill.
So there's also things like that. And so, yeah, roofing companies do deal with leaks caused by HVAC systems for the most part. There are always like the odd and end thing that it is an HVAC problem and not a roofing problem, but it is more likely than with tuck pointing that a roofing company will be able to help you with the leak or whatever the problem may be. I think that brings us to the end of today's episode. We hope you learned something. That brings us to the end of today's episode. If you've been loving what you're hearing, make sure to press the subscribe button so you get notified anytime we post a new episode. Episodes come out on Monday and Fridays. Please feel free to share this podcast with a friend. We'd love everybody to be able to join us and learn more about the roofing industry as we go along on this journey. If you don't already, follow us on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and YouTube. I will put all of our information down in the show notes below. Feel free to contact us with any questions or any roofing ideas that you would love for us to talk about. I hope you have a great day, and we will see you next time.